Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the NoDQ.com live recap of Friday Night Smackdown for Friday the 14th, 2022. Thank you to everybody out there watching this, whether it's live or on demand. I appreciate your viewership and support. And if you can, please give this video a like on YouTube. And if you're watching this on Facebook or Twitter, please consider heading over to the YouTube channel so you can participate in our live chat. I post comments from the chat room up on the screen. Anyways, let's get to this recap. SmackDown started off with a recap. As usual, we had footage shown from last week's show, setting up the whole Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins match for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. We had the reigning and defending SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, come to the ring for a promo. And Paul Heyman was crossed off of their Bloodline t-shirt. They talked about how there was going to be a four-way tag team match on SmackDown to determine new number one contenders, and the Usos did the introductions. And I must say, Jimmy Uso did a hell of a job. Jimmy Uso, I think, has a career after wrestling if he ever wanted to do ring announcing. He did great. The four teams for this match: we had the Viking Raiders, a legitimate WWE tag team. Cesaro and Mansoor, thrown together tag team. Los Lotharios just recently became a legitimate tag team. And then Jinder Mahal and Shanky, I guess that's a legitimate tag team. And you had the Usos at ringside on commentary. A big brawl erupted before the match could even get going. Ivar cleaned house. Viking Raiders worked over Shanky. Jinder Mahal made the save for his buddy Shanky. If Jinder Mahal really wants to do something useful, he could have Veer show up and be able to finally arrive on WWE programming again. Cesaro and Mahal were trying to hit Ivar with this double suplex. Eric came in to help Ivar, but actually, in a way, hurt him because there was this four-way Tower of Doom spot, but you would think that Eric would just knock Cesaro and Mahal off the top rope so Ivar would not get suplexed, because he still got suplexed. Yes, Eric did powerbomb Cesaro and Mahal, but still, you would think that Eric would not allow his partner to get suplexed, or superplexed, I should say. Anyways, things broke down after that. And then the Viking Raiders hit the Viking Experience, pinning Humberto, the most legitimate tag team, I guess you could say, won the match. And to me, the only team that would have made sense here. Viking Raiders, at some point, whether it's the Royal Rumble or later, or maybe just on SmackDown, the Viking Raiders will get their opportunity at the Usos. We had Naomi backstage. She's still mad at Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville, according to Naomi, is a liar. And she wanted to know, just like the rest of us, she wants to know why Sonya Deville is hating on her so much. Sonya's answer, everybody, the big storyline explanation: she doesn't owe any of us an explanation, but she did give us one, which I think no explanation might have been better, because she said that Naomi is a main character, a person with main character vibes, who's actually just an extra. Sonya warned Naomi that Naomi could get removed from the Royal Rumble or possibly fired if she touches Sonya while Sonya's wearing her boss outfit. Adam Pearce broke things up and complained about how cold it was in the room, and we'll get to that more later. We had several video packages throughout the evening hyping up the main event segment, Roman Reigns confronting Seth Rollins. We had footage shown from the Shield's debut and how they were raising hell. Then we saw the heel turn when Rollins hit Roman with the steel chair. And then we got to WrestleMania 31. We saw that footage where Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank. I was there at that WrestleMania, and that was an epic moment. The crowd loved it so much. It was definitely one of the all-time great WrestleMania moments, in my opinion. We had Sami Zayn come down to the ringside area, and he brought up Johnny Knoxville. And Zayn said that when it comes to being a jackass, nobody is better than Sami Zayn. Crowd found that line very amusing. And Sami said he was going to outdo Johnny Knoxville by having his own jackass-like segment called Insane. And he brought out this shopping cart. He was going to do some kind of trick going over this ramp into the ring and landing on a crash pad or something. But he got cold feet. And then we had Rick Boogs arrive. Rick Boogs has changed his look. Rick Boogs cut his hair. I wonder if he was told to cut his hair, but I'm kind of sad. He cut his hair, and he's got a very Rick Rude / Freddie Mercury like mustache going for him now. He's like a jacked up Freddie Mercury at this point. Rick Boogs provided a distraction, and then Shinsuke Nakamura, the reigning and, well, not defending Intercontinental Champion, took out Sami Zayn with the Haluva kick. Segment was entertaining, I suppose. And then Boogs picked up Sami Zayn and press slammed him over the top onto this crash pad. We then had Natalya versus Aaliyah. Now, before the match, we had a backstage confrontation between Natalya and Aaliyah. Natalya had this Guinness Book of World Records, most matches of any female star, most wins of any female star, most Raw appearances or something like that. And Natalya said she was going for another record. She was going to have the fastest victory in WWE history. Now, before the match could get started, Natalya attacked Aaliyah, beat the crap out of her in an effort to try and pick up that record-breaking victory. Referee checked on Aaliyah. Aaliyah did say she wanted to compete, so the referee allowed the match to go on. And right when the bell rang, Aaliyah out of nowhere rolled up Natalya, 1, 2, 3, and apparently broke the record for the fastest win in WWE history, 3 minutes and 17 seconds. I suppose I'll take their word for it. So it's Aaliyah 3:17, just whooped Natalya's ass. And there was a comment in the chat room from Marshall Leonard about how Rick Boogs should have had his hair on the line in a match. Well, the problem is they really do not think of things long term. That would have been a good idea, hair versus hair match, and Boogs could have lost that if they wanted to change his look. Oh, well. And Anthony says Rick Boogs is Rusev 2.0. Yeah, he kind of had the Rusev look going for him as well, circa 2018. I suppose time will tell if this does absolutely anything for Aaliyah's career. My guess is probably not. And then backstage, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. Now they were hot in the room. Earlier they were cold, and now they're hot. They're hot and they're cold. They're in and they're out. They're yes and they're no. Then we had Lita come to the ring for an in-ring interview with Michael Cole. Lita talked about how she's home finally, and Michael Cole asked her why oh why is she in the Royal Rumble match? And she brought up how she never got to compete in a Royal Rumble match because, well, there were none for the women. So she wanted to be part of one. She feels like she accomplished everything there was to accomplish, but she feels like she has one more run left in her. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Lita was in the 2018 Women's Rumble, the very first one. I seem to remember her being in that match, but I'm not 100% positive, and I forgot to look it up. But I believe she was in that match. Somebody let me know in the chat if I'm right or not. You had Charlotte Flair interrupt Lita, and apparently she was, in fact, in that 2018 Royal Rumble. Charlotte Flair said that she wasn't aware it was Flashback Friday, and she said she was going to end the short-lived comeback of Lita. And Lita said that Charlotte will not be eliminating anybody in the Royal Rumble with that big head of hers, and she actually got the crowd to chant big head or giant head. Charlotte then brought up Lita's bestie, Trish Stratus, how Trish begged Charlotte for a match, and then Charlotte broke Trish and caused her to retire. I could have sworn Trish was already retired, and that match was just a one-off, but maybe it was her official retirement match. I was there at that one for SummerSlam in 2019, so yeah, maybe it was just a one last hurrah type of match for her. Win or lose. I don't remember if she said win or lose, it was her last match going in or not, but nonetheless, Charlotte, I guess, did technically retire Trish Stratus. Although I really consider the 2006 run, when that ended, to be her official retirement, just like Foley more or less retired in 2000. And of course, he came back and did a few matches here and there. But I consider 2000 to be his actual retirement, and he just came back for a few appearances here and there, a few matches. Anyways, Lita responded to Charlotte by acting like she was going to slap her, and Charlotte flinched. Then you had Lita take down Charlotte with a twist of fate, got the upper hand on her. And you know what? This was a good segment to build up hype for the Royal Rumble. I liked it. I had no real issues with it. I think the kick and the twist of fate looked a little rough, but we'll see. Maybe Lita gets some more practice in before the Royal Rumble, and she is getting up there. Although she's actually only a year older than Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, so we'll see how she does at the Royal Rumble and see if she's got, in fact, one more run in her. Apparently, there was talk about her possibly going to AEW last year, and she ended up coming back for the Rumble. We had Sheamus backstage talking about how he's going to get revenge on Ricochet for what Ricochet did to Ridge Holland. We had Ricochet versus Sheamus. Ricochet has brand new music. And all I can say about this is that why should I care about this match when Sheamus already beat Ricochet and Cesaro basically 2-on-1 after Ridge Holland was taken out? Like, Sheamus beat them in a handicap match. So why would I have any suspension of disbelief that Ricochet could potentially beat Sheamus? I don't. Even the new music did not convince me that Ricochet was winning. It was a good match. It was pretty solid. Sheamus tried to use the bottom part of the ring to, I guess, bust up Ricochet, but it did not work. Ricochet, very resilient. He made his comeback, and he smacked Sheamus face first into the ring post, I guess trying to bust him up. Hit a sunset flip powerbomb. Sheamus kicked out of that, and then Sheamus was able to recover. Sheamus hit the bro kick and picked up the very solid victory over a very game Ricochet. We had Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville backstage. They were sweating, and Sonya took off her jacket, which led to Naomi coming in, trying to use that as an opportunity. I guess this was the punchline to the air being hot and cold. It was kind of lame. And then Adam Pearce broke them up. Adam Pearce then did, I guess, a solid for Naomi, said that next week Naomi will get another match with Charlotte. But the question is, will Sonya Deville interfere again? If Pearce really wanted to do Naomi a solid, he'd say that Sonya Deville cannot get involved in the match at all. She has no power whatsoever. But he did not do that. We then had Kofi Kingston versus Madcap Moss. And before the match, Kofi had this scroll, a proclamation from King Woods. Woods is out of the Rumble due to an injury suffered during last week's match. And then Kofi said that he will be in the Royal Rumble. He was interrupted by King Corbin. It's basically King Corbin without the crown. Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss. Corbin bragged about his $50,000 watch, and they showed footage of them injuring Drew McIntyre a few weeks ago. And then Madcap Moss, with his joke of the night, said that Kofi Kingston by himself, instead of the New Day, it is the Poo Day. Yes, the Poo Day. And then Kofi responded by saying he's going to drop a royal deuce on Madcap Moss's forehead. Guys, I think we know who scripted this line. Both lines, in fact. I think we know who scripted this promo. Pal. I'll give you that clue right there. So we had the match, and Kofi hit the boom drop, but then Corbin got on the apron, providing a brief distraction. Corbin, he got his distraction in. Kofi went for the tip, but the slight hesitation due to the distraction, he missed it. He tried to hit a crossbody, but Moss caught him. Kofi escaped that, tried to hit the SOS, but was unsuccessful, and then Moss hit the punchline and picked up the victory. Madcap Moss beats the former WWE champion. Yeah. All right. It just never ends. Like, I'm sure Vince McMahon backstage is like, man, this is getting some heat. These guys are getting the boos and everything. It's not good heat, in my opinion. Every time I see these guys, I want to change the channel. If it wasn't my job, I'd be changing it to something else or turning it off. Like, as a wrestling fan, I have no desire to see Corbin and Madcap Moss get beat up. No desire whatsoever. I don't want them on my TV screen, period. A good heel is somebody that gets me invested in seeing the babyface kick his ass. And I just don't care. I don't want to even watch a Madcap Moss or a Baron Corbin match. I have no desire, none whatsoever. So we had our final segment of the evening, the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns confrontation. And the crowd was very much into Roman Reigns. They were chanting for Roman. Seth Rollins was wearing this Michael Jackson-like outfit. Rollins wanted a shield fist bump from Roman Reigns, but Roman said that is beneath him now. And Reigns talked about how he is God mode now. Rollins tried to say that all their matches in the past were one-sided. Rollins said that throughout their run in the Shield, he was holding Reigns' hand, and now it's the Bloodline holding Reigns' hand. And he said that he created Roman Reigns. He can also destroy Roman Reigns. And Reigns said that Rollins looks and sounds like a clown, a waste of his time. Reigns said that if he was going to pick anybody from Raw to face for the Universal title, it would not be Seth Rollins, but rather Seth Rollins' wife. And at this point, the Usos attempted to attack Seth Rollins, but Rollins escaped the wrath of the bloodline and ran off to the back as the show went off the air. Ending segment was pretty good. Overall, SmackDown was fine. Not a great show, though. I'd probably say a somewhat recommend. Like, the last segment was pretty entertaining. Not much wrestling on this show. The best match on the show was probably Ricochet versus Sheamus, and I did not care about it because what I said earlier, Sheamus already beat Ricochet and Cesaro 1-on-2. Why would I care about seeing this match again? It was mostly talking segments. Rollins and Reigns had a good segment. I liked the Lita segment. So I'd probably recommend watching those segments. Everything else, you could probably skip this week. You do have the record 3 seconds and 3 seconds match or whatever it was with Aaliyah and Natalya. I think I screwed up. I think I said 3 minutes and 17 seconds earlier. Maybe I didn't, but 3 seconds and 17 milliseconds or whatever the hell it is. Anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give the video a like and please spread the word. Tell a friend about the channel. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and I will see you all next time.